petition directly. All right. So, and then I will keep Chief Shell behind. And once I had a question, I believe, on the assault on the cops, Chief Shell can address that as well. All right. So those are the two things other than the state of the NYPD that we'll address. And if anybody has anything after that, just shoot us an email at DSPI. All right. No. Well, I can set it up before later or for tomorrow. What's that? All right. All right. So I'll bring them out in about 1 minute and get them lined up. We'll start with the PC statement on the stops bill. Take 1 or 2 questions on that. We'll move it to the state of the city. They'll leave. I'll pull Shell back and we'll talk about the assault on the cops. All right.
Seeing if I can see if we can follow the volume. I'm trying.
All right, good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. So, obviously, what we want to say is that we're still hopeful that before this bill is laid out in July, that there's still room for us to come to the table and work on language that is both transparent and doesn't affect public safety, allows the police officers to do their job to help protect New Yorkers like they do every single day, day in and day out. Thank you.
All right, we'll take 1 or 2 questions on the stops bill. Rocco?
Commissioner, what was the dialogue like prior to the proceeding? Counsel had said that at some point they asked Mr. Trump to offer up level 1 instances that perhaps should be exempt from the legislation. The department did not respond. Is that correct?
No, but obviously we're still working on language. We're still hopeful that we can still come to the table before July.
Nicole?
Commissioner, could you address any misconception we heard from Council Speaker yesterday saying this is an easy process. It's just a matter of a drop-down tab on a smartphone. Could you clarify whether or not it's easy?
I will tell you that the New York City Police Department had 8.5 million 911 and 311 calls last year alone. But like I said, it is a bill now, and we're hopeful we can come to the table and still talk about it before it comes to life in July.
And hold on, Nicole. Shola add something to it.
So, when we talk about apps and drop-down screens, there is no app yet. There is a synopsis we have to type into that. So it's not even built yet. And it doesn't, I don't know where 20 seconds came from. Okay, and then just to the bill itself, a level 1 is an inquiry. It's not a stop. Okay? It's inquiry, it's not suspicious, it's not accusatory. So we agree with the level 2. But we certainly don't agree with the level 1. To the boss's point, to the police commissioner's point, 8.5 million jobs. If that's 1 person per job, which we know it's not, that's a lot of thumbing on a phone. So it's going to take time. It's going to affect some aspects of our job. But like the commissioner said, there's still room to discuss. It doesn't come into effect till July.
All right, let's move on to state of the NYPD. We'll take some questions on state of the NYPD.
Commissioner, there was a pilot program last year to extend towards the 12 to 10 hours, 12 or 10 hours. Is there any anticipation in expanding that in this next year?
Yes, absolutely. Right now, we're starting it off in transit. All our transit districts will have it in effect by the end of the month.
Mayor, Rocco?
Commissioner, I want to more explain the VA compost. To what number now, or how many officers will this be posted on season, including these two? And just give me an example of some of the things that particularly the officer in Arizona might learn that would inform how things here are responding.
Yep, okay, so we've got 14 posts. This is adding an extra 2. This is born out of the recognition that we have a lot of vexing problems on our southern border. I mentioned fentanyl scourge, transnational criminal organizations that might have a footprint into the U.S. and increasingly toward our city, and the migrant crisis. And our philosophy always has been, and it's the undergirding of our whole liaison program, we're not going to wait for the problems to come to us. We're not going to say this is somebody else's responsibility. It's our job to protect our city. And so we have to do that by understanding really at the root of the problem how these scourges that I mentioned are coming to New York. So Bogota is going to be focused on migration routes. It's going to be focused on transnational criminal issues and the drug trafficking as well. Tucson, it's an incredible state-of-the-art facility that Customs and Border Protection runs with federal agencies across our community of intel and law enforcement partners, as well as state and local. And that's really the crux of the issue on the border. So we're going to be amplifying relationships that we have, building new ones, and that's focused on cartel activity, again, the transnational criminal activity, as well as fentanyl and related drug issues.
There were already some dialogue, I assume, that the department has had
Yep.
with the authorities in Arizona. This is just putting someone on the ground there.
That's right. And so this comes after, certainly the last few months have been increased realization we really need to have somebody there full time. But these are relationships that we've had for years and years. And having somebody on the ground in real time, there's nothing that can replace that. So we're really excited to help protect our city. This is the kind of natural progression from a liaison program that focuses on counterterrorism, although not exclusively. Some of our posts have been really dealing with criminal issues. So this is the logical expansion of that into the problems of 2024. And unfortunately, the old problems didn't go away. We've got new challenges, but that's why we're creating these posts.
State of NYPD, Nicole?
Talk a little bit about the drone technology. We've seen it used in crime fighting, and just got a glimpse of how you're using it to combat subway surfing. Could you just explain, if you have a drone over the train, how would that use to stop that and what we're seeing?
So we're leveraging technology. We talk about this all the time. We leverage technology that's out there. In relation to subway surfing, we've spoken about subway surfing in Northam, and look, last year there were 5 deaths of teenagers as a result of subway surfing. Already this year in Brooklyn, we have the death of a teenager. So we're tackling this from enforcement and working with our partners in the MTA. But as far as the drone, so we have a drone pilot project working out in Queens right now over at the elevated 7 line, which, by the way, is a spot, the 7 line, where we historically see subway surface. It's elevated, it's got a scenic background, so we've been out there for a few weeks and we've had great success. And the beauty of the drone is it gives us real-time viewing of what's going on in these trains with real-time communication to cops that are on the platforms waiting for these kids to come in. And what we're doing now, also the beauty of this is it's video recording it. So when we call the parents in to pick up their children and we explain to them what's going on, and Johnny says, I wasn't doing nothing, we actually showing the video, the drone footage to the family members, the mom or the dad or the guardian. It's pretty powerful stuff. So this will continue.
Chief, have there been instances where police have stop the train or you slow down the train as opposed to wait till the train gets to the station if it's still on top?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have direct communication with train operators. But what we see is these kids, it's pretty quick. They get on one station, they'll ride the train right to the next station. Or maybe 2 stations. So really the communication is with the police officers.
Wrapping up on state NYPD. Anybody else? All right. I'll let him get out of here. Chief Shell will speak about the assault in a few minutes. All right. All right, I think there was one question on the assault on the cops. So Shell can go through the incident and then take a question.
All right, so we all saw the video. Saturday afternoon about 4 o'clock, 42nd Street and 7th Avenue. A lieutenant and a police officer in Midtown South being directed towards the disorderly group. As they try to clear that group, you saw the video, reprehensible. Cowards. You have 8 people attacking a lieutenant and a cop, running up to them, trying to kick him in the face and kick him in the face. 4 arrested on the scene. 1 was arrested last night. The 4 that were arrested should be sitting in Rikers right now, on bail. Should be indicted this week and taken off our streets. You want to know why our cops are getting assaulted? There's no consequences. And we must change this. End of story.
I'll take 1 or 2 questions on that. Go ahead. Man.
Any indication they were gang members?
Gang members, I'm not aware of that.
As he's trying to disperse the crowd, what are these suspects actually saying? If it's clear.
Well, obviously you can tell by the video they're not moving. Obviously you can see them starting to surround. We take action. And 8 people attack 2 cops. Cowards.
On the body worn camera footage, what they might be saying.
Hard to make out, but the video speaks for itself.
How are the officers doing? And any message you want to send, Chief? Because a couple of years ago we saw it was kind of the open season on officers, folks throwing water on officers, assaulting officers. Are you concerned that that's coming back?
Well, first for our cops, I'm proud of what they try to do. They stayed in the fight, but 8-on-2 is hard to combat. They got bumps, bruises, and scratches and pain. Okay? In terms of this happening over and over again, you see it, I see it, we all see it. Again, consequences for your actions. They should be sitting in Rikers. They should have been indicted this week and have their day in court and go to jail. If you want to stop the assaults on our cops, this is where it begins.
John?
Chief, since the attack, are you paying special attention to that location, the migrant shelter?
Midtown Manhattan, we're always paying special attention. Other shelters around Midtown Manhattan, absolutely. Do we have extra resources? Absolutely.
Anything? Okay. Anybody else?
Is there more concern about the migrants in that area causing problems?
Look, anytime in Midtown Manhattan you have so many people, it's always concern universally.
All right. What do
Is
you
it
got?
confirmed that all 8 of the suspects were staying at that shelter as this happened nearby?
There's different shelters involved.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good to see you, man. Thank you.
Righto. What's up, baby? We're done with the live show. Yeah, you want to do something on option? Set that up. Options. That I'm not sure.
Yes.
On here, so when you get back, you want to feed it ASAP, and I'm going to steal it.
Gotcha. I'll bring it to you.
I'm breaking down. Just started. Yeah, I'll call you from there. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You have to say,
I'm sorry, say again?
I got one today.
Shoulder? Okay, coming.
Hey, Bill, you want to do your honors? Okay. Thank you.
I've always wanted to use that line.